the last piece of the puzzle that Ezra needs to become a champion is maybe just some more experience. Obviously, it's in the blood. Isaac last year was an incredible 2 major win season, and I think the bro wants some of that action.
Gavin's strengths are off the tee. He's very accurate. He's very poised on the tee. He's confident. Like, I'm good off the tee. It's my putter that kind of gives me fits every once in a while when I'm making putts. I'm as good as anybody in the world. On hole 18, he makes that putt, fist pump. That's classic Ricky right there. Like, he knows he needs the lead. It's a different feeling for him. I don't know how he does it, but the fact that we're even talking about it right now says that it's a real thing. Like, Ricky Wysocki, momentum, front runner. Nobody's ever done it like him, ever, in the history of the sport. I mean, if anybody's gonna chase him down, I would give it to Calvin.
This could be Ricky runs away with it situation, but Calvin's got just enough of the star power to stay close and keep him honest. It's going to be a final round race, and it's going to be awesome to watch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to final round front nine coverage of the MPO lead card here at the 2024 Dynamic Discs Open. BigBarri commentary, bringing you the action. Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Koling. And you've made it. We're here. We're here at the finish line of this amazing event with a lot of history at a venue that is just only getting bigger and better.
Yeah, you hit it on the nose, and I feel like we ruin our intro because of the sweet little graphics that they put and us doing that. We talk about everything we want to talk about right now. Well, but let's go into some statistics. Ricky Wysocki, 82% fairways hits.
Making every putt.
That's not that crazy with how open this course is. It's the putting that is really impressive, especially with the wind.
Calvin, when he's putting well, and he has been, C1X 86 is pretty decent with the wind that we've had from different directions in the first 2 days. And he's shown an improvement this season in that. When he's throwing the disc close and making the putts, he is frightening. Gavin Rathbun, 78% C2.
Yuck.
You said if he is making his putts, he's a problem. Well, guess what? He's on lead card because he's making his putts. Ezra Robinson, he's just been Mr. Consistency lately. Just keeps showing up in the mix at the end of events, really establishing himself and really solidifying that 1040 rating that's next to his name.
You're right.
Him and his brother, both 1040 rated. That's pretty cool. As a person who has a brother who is also over 1,000 rated.
Yeah.
What's that like to even think about having a bro that's also 1040?
I feel like if my brother started younger, probably would be 1040 rated.
He's a very talented person, Mr. Pete Ulibarri. We love him here in the disc golf community.
Teeing off first from Scottsdale, Arizona, sponsored by Dynamic Discs, the 2022 Dynamic Disc Open champion and 2-time world champion, Ricky Wysocki.
Before we start, I just gotta say, editing through this year has been on point. These intros have been absolutely fuego.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down here if you guys have been appreciating all the work done by the Jomez editing team and the camera crew. They've been killing it.
Left to right wind here. Ricky gets it above the bush, right in the middle. It's a good start.
And we are matching the wind from round one. So familiar wind direction.
From Safety Harbor, Florida, sponsored by Innova, Calvin Heimburg.
As you can see from Calvin's face, it is a headwind. The squintier the eyes, the more the headwind there is.
Or he's just really fast with his run up.
Calvin going for the flex play instead of going the traditional highs. Or
why not?
Yeah, why not is right.
Make this hole real easy with that kind of shot.
Real easy is subjective. 1,224-foot headwind. It's a long way to go.
Sponsored by Double Eagle, Gavin Rathbun.
Awesome to have Gavin back on the lead card here. Final round. been a while. Super talented player.
What was it, Austin? Did he make the lead card?
I can't even.
I know
really
he did. He had a
remember.
great finish there in Austin.
And this is heading to the Junipers, and that is a tough bunker to find yourself in. It's inbounds, but hard to get much of a forward advance from inside this bush line.
Sponsored by Prodigy, Ezra Robinson.
Ezra just 2 back of the lead, in position to do something special today.
Ooh, turned over.
Headwind was affecting a lot of players, and that's a very fortunate
Yes.
cut through. To get on the other side of the tree, he'll have an open throw and a pretty clean footwork.
Is that a fairway hit?
How would you score it as a stat keeper?
Probably a fairway hit. A fairway's so big.
Sure.
If he can get that far,
If you're in
no
bounds
problem.
in this hole, as long as you're not in the Juniper
Yeah.
like Gavin is, I'd give it to you.
Well, he had that 95% fairways hits.
Oh, I see. That's what you're talking about here. Wow, look at this layout here from Gavin. Giving it everything he's got.
Sit.
Yeah.
That's tough, though. He's got
Yeah.
that bush right in his way.
Well, I don't think you're trying to, I don't think you're fixated on birdie after you landed the Juniper off the tee.
Yeah, maybe not.
So I think that's just fine to stay in bounds and get a forward advance.
This looks fantastic. Well played.
Moving a bit left, big skip.
I mean, that's as much as he could have gotten off of the skip and 3 feet in bounds.
Mm-hmm. Calvin going big here, turning it over just a bit too much, and that stops about maybe another 180 feet more of travel. That thing had a lot of zip behind it.
Probably a good tree, I think.
You think it was moving up out of bounds?
Maybe towards that bush line.
Okay.
Maybe not OB.
And Ezra, after the errant tee shot, second shot put him in position to go big, probably in the 470 to 480 range from back there. Leaves that one in C2. Oh, boy.
I think he
Oh,
did
goodness.
have the distance to be able to go.
Well,
Home in
that
two.
certainly wasn't the play of somebody who
No.
was laying up. Gavin just wildly overturns his forehand, finds out of bounds, and that is a disastrous start.
This has to be like the most overstable disc. What?
Look at that ball.
No. That looked like it was so far right. I was right with the most overstable disc comment. Look
Just
at this.
really trusting it. Who throws a forced Anheuser into that headwind from 400 feet? Calvin Heimburg is who, folks.
Right underneath.
Underneath the limbs, and then the little ground play to get the roll back to the pin, only 18 feet away for the birdie.
A couple unlucky pine cones getting kicked out of their home. Ricky.
Well, their family actually cares for him. They'll go gather him. Come on. Ricky hitting this tree with some pace, and that, I think, was a fortunate break. That was moving down the hill.
Yeah, he has a shot now.
Yep. Low ceiling effort coming. Now Gavin's got to get up and down to save the bogey.
Ooh, this is going to be short.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
And on the left side of the basket, that will be into a left to right headwind. Scary putt that can potentially lift from that spot.
Go.
Oh boy. Not the world's best layup there from Ezra. And Ricky's birdie bid hits mid to low cage. Oh, man. Would have liked to have a little bit of a lift there.
Oh, that's a good putt.
It really is. Solid par delivery.
Course is playing tougher today, I think, in spots.
That's over a third of a stroke above par on hole 1.
Okay. I think that's just the wind direction, though.
Mhm,
You know,
yep.
it's just a tougher wind direction. It makes other holes easier, other holes harder.
It played just below par in round 2 with the tailwind, and nearly the same score above par in both rounds 1 and 3. So the headwind certainly wreaking havoc, at least on this hole. That being said, hole the whole course was playing easier during round one with this particular wind direction.
I think it's more of a sustained wind today. So it's just constant to where you had a couple lulls here and there round one.
Okay, we didn't show how Chris got there, but I think he was attempting a roller off the tee, hits the tree from the bottom of the hill. That is easily over 400 feet to the top of the hill and to the basket, and Chris into the right to left crosswind throws an absolute dart from back there, and he's off to a 2-under start.
Impressive power he has. Real simple move, but
Yep.
lots and lots of power.
I was comparing his game to the very efficient Tim Duncan in that he is just always Mr. Reliable. Kind of a little boring to watch, but very effective.
Yeah.
Brings in titles. On to hole 2, par 4, 745 feet. We just saw what you got to do from the bottom of the hill, but these players are going to try to get a little bit more than that, obviously, so they don't have to work so hard in the second shot. Got to be aware of the out of bounds on the left side. And the main thing is just avoid this tree. Calvin Heimburg hit this right side branch yesterday and kicked out of bounds.
Like how he's just like, I'll just rip under it farther than people throw around it.
I think this is the first year I've ever seen anyone go for that play, and Calvin tried it all 3 rounds, and 2 of the 3 rounds it worked out terrifically.
Ooh, that's inside.
This is going to be in danger of hitting the tree.
Ooh,
and it does.
good little window he finds in
Yep.
that tree.
Probably affected it to the tune of maybe 40 feet or so, but still definitely in range for Ricky.
Yeah, if Chris can get it from the bottom.
Yes, correct.
Ezra, don't try things Calvin tries.
Do you, dude?
Yeah. I just can't believe Calvin goes under that.
Not only goes under it, but like still gets a ton of distance once
Yeah.
it gets past that. You're throwing downhill under a low ceiling. How do you expect to still get 400 feet? Calvin does it easily. A good drive from Gavin just a moment ago. Now, Ezra, this line looks good, just a little wanting on the distance.
It's hard to get it all the way up there from
It
there.
really is. And that was past where Chris Dickerson just got up and down
Crazy.
from. Mm-hmm.
Commit to going really wide. And that's pretty wide.
Uh-huh.
Very good.
Yep.
Ooh.
Nothing wrong with that. Ricky Wysocki was 1 over on hole 1 for the week. Kind of surprising in that. Being the leader on the hole like that, I've never really seen so many people have so much issue with hole 5. This is really wide for Gavin, but just enough stability at the end, and that circles up just inside C1.
Oh, a little 2-piece here.
Feeling a lot more comfortable with that this year, or last couple of tournaments, I should say. Clearly.
Ezra wants a chance to take this down. He's going to have to make a couple of these. I feel like those are his little momentum builders. When
For
he's
sure.
making those, then the shorter ones become like effortless. Takes no time.
Couldn't agree with you more. Gavin from edge of circle. That was a nice delivery. And that'll get back at least one of those double bogey strokes on hole 1. And that's what Ricky likes to see right there. After Calvin tied it up on hole 1, 2 players are still tied going into the tee of hole 3. See what's going on the leaderboard. Look at that. Paul Macbeth. He has 8 under through 12 holes, off to a hot start today, moving way up the leaderboard. Not really in any real contention for the win today, but a good finish is possible if he continues what he's doing right now.
Hole 3, par 3, 466. Up the middle, turnover with a fairway driver, wide sidearm hyzer, and a sneaky little backhand hyzer as well. We know what Calvin's going to do. Throw this eagle right down the gut, get a little late turn.
This is moving, Paul.
He's a sit.
Oh, what a nice smackdown that was.
That was out of bounds.
Oh, easy. Easily out of bounds. But if you're skilled enough that you could just play patty cake with that tree all the way at the bottom of the hill, then do it.
This needs to slow down.
Look at that thing
What?
squeezing around the out of bounds and circling its way back up the hill.
Wild.
I know. So much spin at that distance. It's crazy to me. It's still just spinning so much.
Does Gavin have it?
I don't think that he doesn't have it. I just think in that position, he threw it too high. Going down this hill, you want to match the slope angle, and that was just a little bit too high. If you go back and watch Ricky's, he was throwing it at the sidewalk line in the distance.
This is just a misrelease. Bad angle. Out of the hand. Gonna get away with it if you can get up and down from here, though.
It's not an easy shot from here. You see a lot of players do the same thing that Ezra did there off the tee and then miss this up and down, but that was well thrown. There's a casual relief area, but he decides to actually take it from inside. And that putt, I think it may be fortunate that it caught that flag.
Yeah.
Could have
Saved him a couple feet. And at that distance, a couple feet really matter.
Oh, and Ricky unable to capitalize. Comes up low. That opens the door for Calvin to take the lead. And now we have a new outright leader in Calvin Heimburg.
Calvin's strutting.
That was a good putt, too.
Yes. I mean, you can just see a different walk when he is on a roll.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who doesn't? Ezra par start. And Ricky with a couple of low putts on the first 3 holes. That's the difference for Calvin. When that disc is flat as opposed to nose down, his results typically reflect positively.
Visit quirkygoodies.com today. We have over 100 fun, unique disc golf tees along with hats, stickers, and customizable metal wall art. Use code JomezPro25 for 25% off.
Hole 4, par 3, 433 feet. We've seen pretty good success from Ricky Wysocki on this hole so far this week. Big outside forehand hyzer play is probably the best line if you've got it. Otherwise, you're going to have to go for the much more technical, we'll call it the Calvin Heimburg line, down the gut.
Get down. He's kind of sneaky today.
Yeah, that was a little sneaky. That was definitely pushing that right side line. You could have just as easily seen that grab one of those branches and get knocked down 80 feet short.
I like the line here.
Well, we've seen him do it a few times, and the result is no different, Paul. That is his average distance from the pin on this hole for the week. Actually, that might be farther. That might be the farthest he's been from the pin.
.430 uphill. Power.
Why
hyzer.
aren't we showing a triple follow flight from his 3 drives on this hole? That is the question. That's on you, Jomez team. Anyone who commented earlier, erase your comments.
Or you could just go back and watch them for yourself. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button when you do it.
Gavin, a nice little ground play that will set him up for a called 48-foot putt. Man, this is the same thing he did in the prior hole. Trying to go for that flex play, just a little bit overturned. A little bit too much angle. Nobody's sending it.
Wow.
Great effort.
Ooh.
How pretty was that?
They don't make them better than that.
Just a gorgeous putt going down the hill. Just the slightest right to left movement. Ooh, that warranted a follow flight. I was slow mad.
Ooh, get over there. They do make them better than that. But
Not the start. The scorecard.
no, I mean the putt.
Nah, I don't care about the putt anymore. He's 4 under through 4.
Not just comparing his to Gavin's beautiful.
Yeah, Gavin's stroke was.
You got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, that's the extra content you got to pay extra for sure.
Exactly.
And Ricky, 2 under through 4 holes. Objectively, not a bad start. But
No,
right
it's
now,
fantastic start.
Calvin is putting it down right now. 4 under. No other player in the field has started off 4 under through this stretch.
I've done this one before. What do you think about this hole, Jerm?
Oh, I just think it's a fun hole. It's just the undulating hills, the trees, each one of them carrying a decent amount of weight as far as their importance to the hole design. The out of bounds and left and right side pinching in, and the closer you get to the basket, each part of the 2 shots it takes to get to the green are very important. And if you're off, you're penalized. And if you throw it well, you're not. Gotta love that about a disc golf hole.
Calvin trying to break records for how far he could throw this one down the fairway every single season. Kind of like JomezPro 18, or I guess it's 10 now.
That's so close you can nearly not even possibly mess up from there. That is just so good.
Not even doable. This needs to get down.
This is in a lot of danger.
Yeah. But it's in a good spot to get up and down.
Certainly. But it's looking quite probable that he's going to lose a minimum of at least 1 stroke to Calvin.
This better be very, very, very stable. Very stable.
That's excellent from Gavin. You know what I like about that shot? I like everything about it. But what I like about his start right now is he started off with a double bogey, and since then, he's looked really good. Looked like it didn't shake him at all.
These guys are disc golfing.
Mm-hmm. Ricky up first. Would love to minimize the stress and put this one close, but this is tight,
Heavy.
Paul.
It's okay. He's got lucky to get through that branch. A lot of times they hit those branches and some bad reactions happen.
Still over 35 feet away.
So this is actually a full throw from back there, and well, maybe it's not. He just gave it the full throw.
That's how he throws, it seems like. I think he goes to the full arm swing, but I think at the very end, I think he just controls how much spin comes out. Yeah, well played. Thrown low, minimal skip on the ground, just outside the bullseye. Actually, I'll give that a bullseye hit.
Scary though. You never want to throw a skip shot on the other side of the path.
Oh. Boo.
That's awful from there.
You can nearly not mess it up, but Calvin has tried his hardest. That's why you have to say you can nearly not mess it up, but
Catches a little love off of the branch.
I think it was going in still.
That pushed it left, buddy.
It did push it a little bit.
I didn't think it did at first.
I know. It's hard to say. But a huge putt there for Calvin. Now, Ricky's got to make this one to avoid losing 2. Yeah, solid. Got to dig deep, though. He's now lost 3 shots to Calvin in just the first 5 holes. Now 2 back. Ezra once again not able to make the birdie putt. He's hitting metal for birdie.
A bunch.
A bunch. 2, 4, now 5. Old chase car check in here with Gannon, Iceman Burr.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Kind of happy to be in bounds at that point.
Yeah. He's got a straddle out. Look at the straddle stance. The knees do not bend. I don't know if I know anyone else that does a straddle putt that stands up vertically and then just fires from the hip.
Well, I don't know a lot of people who are that tall. So you'd be the best to ask.
If I ever stood up like that and didn't bend my knees and just threw from my left hip as hard as I could, just come have a talk with me, Paul, and just tell me everything's going to be okay.
Have you tried it?
Absolutely not. But
maybe we should
I know
try
what would
it.
happen. No, I don't want to do that. Hole 6, par 3, 339. This plays as a very important birdie to get. You know, most of the field is going to give themselves an opportunity, and you want to be a part of that most of the field conversation. You don't want to.
It's tough. It's up the hill, so the tee pad is slanting upward, and then there's a left to right crosswind. So I think this hole plays a little tougher than.
It plays tougher than it did
think.
yesterday, where
Well, just-
60% of the field birdied it.
Just than you think. Like I see people throw some shots on it where I'm like, that's the worst 330-foot shot I've ever seen you throw. You know what I mean?
Oh, we saw Calvin yesterday hit the top right side ceiling. It just didn't make any sense. Today he makes the adjustment and puts it, we'll call it 18 feet away. Gavin in the circle, another birdie look coming.
Beauty. I like this one. Oh. Kind of a high skip, not a forward
It
skip.
didn't get the forward momentum. I thought it was perfect out of his hand as well. But he'll have to earn the birdie with another 33-foot putt.
All right, this is driven, but is it too much on the driven side?
Just
kind of a duff.
stayed out there.
You see what I mean? Some weird things
Just
happening on
stayed
this
out
hole.
there, yeah. And you know it's green light go for Ezra. He's going to run this. And a little extra unnecessary roll.
Keep you honest.
Yeah, big putt. Big putt for Ricky. Couple of big putts in a row now for him. Something to draw off of.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, man.
Just kind of, Calvin sending the message, I'm coming at you.
I mean,
with everything I got. And then he's making these 40-footers. This is a nice little battle we got going.
Ezra still has to finish up his par before he even get to Calvin's drive. Now, he is behind that tree. Could be slightly obstructed.
Oh, yeah.
See if he bends his knees. Yeah, there's a little bend in the knee right there. He's gaining sight.
Is he 6'5"?
Same result. With the hair, absolutely.
Yeah.
The curliest strand on top of his head makes him like 6'8.5".
Ricky. What? What just happened? Wysocki blows up the basket on the 16th. I don't know what that is, but it definitely bombs.
Speaking of bombs, man, we have seen some
Bombs.
just nuclear explosions on the tee of hole 7 this week from Ricky and Calvin. Par 4, unless you can throw it 550 feet, and then it becomes just a tweener par 3, par 4. But
I think it's possible for one of them to almost get to circle 2, the way that they throw. And
we got a tail one today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, let's check in here with Gannon Burr.
Laying up. I love this play.
I do too. I love the idea of that lake making players make a decision. It'd be very committed to one or the other, and if you don't mind throwing approaches from this range, then go for it.
Okay, it's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Zoomy.
Yeah, that's perfecto. That was a spicy meatball.
Turn more. Turn more.
Different.
Didn't turn more.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
circle 2 for you, buddy.
Yeah, okay. I was like, what are you commentating on?
I want to see him get there. I want to see them like have an actual putt. I think they can. Which is crazy.
That shot was splendid.
Gotta be careful. There's a couple trees over
Yep.
there, right there.
That one? This is Wysocki's new signature line disc, the General. And,
Is it going farther than Calvin's?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I said on my broadcast, that's a 90-degree spin for Josh, so it's not a full turnaround. I'm not going to give him a hard time today. But man, that was, once again, Ricky, all 3 rounds, probably an average distance of 510 feet on that low ceiling drive. And Ezra's like, man, that's cool. Y'all can do it. Look, I can too.
These drives are just unworldly.
Yeah. Yep. Those might be the 3 best drives of the week, and you just saw them here on this card.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Through the V-gap. Gavin. Well done. Oh, good break. And well done.
Sit.
Another keep you honest type putt. We've seen him clean those up for par. Now we need to see him make one of these for birdie. That's going to be 7 for 7 for Calvin.
Remember I said yesterday you need to get a few birdies coming down the stretch so that you can end on 8 and 9. I think
Calvin's done that?
I think he's done
Hey,
that.
there's the putt. You're asking for a putt. That was a jump putt.
Was it?
Yes.
Yep. Kind of though. That wasn't a putt to make it.
It was a putt, though.
It was, yeah.
Oh, Ezra, unable to get the first birdie, still on the snide.
Looked like he had a little movement before he even released it. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look confident. Maybe confident, but looked a little bit unsettled. The routine.
And this is something that's my thing about Ezra's putting style. He's a spin putter. He's very aggressive, and when he's on, he lights it up from 100 and in. But when he's not necessarily feeling 100% confident about it, it's a little antsy, and I think that I feel his anxiety sometimes on the putting green. That's the window. That's the player's perspective there. How does that tee frame set up for a 500-foot shot? You explain it to me. I don't understand it. I mean, I know it's downhill, but my goodness, these guys are just ripping that tee shot up.
All right, hole 8, par 5, 994 feet. Another hole you could really rip up. This is totally doable with the wind that we have. Right to left cross, went out of bounds left, out of bounds right, all the way home to the circle, and it just kind of bottlenecks in at the pin. Like I said, right to left wind, so you can take as much on as you would like. With these guys' power, they can get up to the top of the hill, give themselves a little eagle putt. We've been seeing most of these guys kind of lay up super short, playing the safety card dance.
And we got a right to left crosswind here, which can bring the righty hyzer in danger of finding OB left. But I like how Calvin has gone incredibly overstable and really wide and trusting the ground play to be soft like it has been all week. It's a good drive. Low forehand play.
Plays for sure. Gavin really turned things around after that double bogey. You were right. Only missing one hole, it looks like.
Yeah.
since
Strong
then.
resiliency with that one. Again, Ricky, I don't think he's looked comfortable on this tee all three rounds. It feels a little uncomfortable the way he's throwing the forehand anheuser. He's like just turfing it. Ezra, this one is wide.
I think it's good, though.
With the crosswind probably helping. It does. Yeah, right in the middle. That's a boom. That's the longest drive I think we've seen from our lead cards so far this week. And look what Ricky has to do. He has to go standstill because his shot found that little muddy patch there. And he was actually at that lie for a while trying to get some casual relief back from it. But I think the group said, it's not listed as casual relief anywhere. You got to play from there.
True. Sucks, but true.
I mean, and that just comes down to you got to throw the drive better. I mean, not knowing that mud patch is there is, understandable. But that was a poor drive, and he dealt with a poor lie because of it.
You should never have a poor lie in the middle of the fairway like that, not marked. So I'm with Ricky on this one.
Sure. Gavin, this is pushing right side sidewalk. Needs to get down.
Ooh.
And it stays in bounds.
Now, Ricky does have a play from where he is, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Probably in the 350 to 380 range, somewhere in that spot, I think. But
Oh, too heavy on the turn here. He's going to need a good curl out. No, you can't land on the sidewalk if you want to curl out.
Nope. Spotter all over that mark. So, yes, Ricky definitely has an opportunity here.
Oh, he goes low, though. I don't know.
I mean...
Horrible reaction.
Horrible. It skips forward, and the only thing that you can find that would keep it out of bounds is that tree, and Ricky squares it and goes out of bounds.
Brutal. Go in. Sit down.
Oh, and watch this. Hits a raised piece of sidewalk and stays in bounds. The brakes are going Gavin's way right now.
That was weird.
That should have definitely found out of bounds right, whereas Ricky's should not have found out of bounds left.
He should have landed in a mud pit.
Gavin going forehand. Hold it. And finds a branch that knocks it straight down OB. So right when the window was open for Calvin to take at least a couple of shots on Ricky, he also finds out of bounds. So all four, well, actually, no, not all four players. Gavin kept it in bounds.
Oh, no. Shank. Good old-fashioned shank.
And
Sit.
this one's zipping long. And there's OB over there, and it doesn't find it. That was a head scratcher. Ricky for the par.
Oh, that looks
Perfect
so
height.
good.
Height, great speed. Just unable to catch chains.
Great putt.
Wow.
Big moment.
Calvin keeps on trucking, saves the par. I didn't hate his approach out of his hand initially, but that right to left crosswind just held it over. And this is just a triple bogey coming now for Ezra. And
You dirty
hits
dog.
the sidewalk to stay in bounds and has a complete left side of the basket stay for the birdie. Now, at this point in the round, there are a lot of players on the course who did much better than double bogey on hole one who are not at the score that Gavin currently is at. That is a great turnaround for him. Four under through 8 holes with a double bogey for Gavin. Meanwhile, Calvin's still trucking along 7 under, getting another stroke on Ricky Wysocki, a player who has only lost one time when he had a lead going into the final round at an Elite Series event only one time. He's 6 out of 7 he's won, and now he is playing catch up. He's going to have to dig deep to change this narrative. I guess they continued the narrative of him being the front runner.
Yeah.
But he's no longer the front runner. He's got to find something here.
This is a good one to start in on, as we see Gannon gets to a good spot here on the left-hand side of the fairway, going for the pin. Needs some good ground play.
Yep, and goes high to mitigate the skip. That just checks up nicely, and that's, what, 45 feet, 50 feet? In.
Pretty good.
And look at his last 5 holes.
When you're getting 8 and 9, gaining strokes on people.
Yep. 8 playing nearly half a stroke over par, 9 playing 0.8 over par. When these guys teed off in the morning, hole 8 or hole 9 was playing over a full stroke above par. That's a great drive for Gavin.
How stable is this?
The perfect amount of stable.
Yeah, that's a great stability for that shot. That's kind of what I had in mind for him. Sidearm.
This brings that right side OB into play unless you have an absolute ripper forehand. And fortunately for Ricky, that is exactly what he has.
Wow. And he's been doing the putter layup, so you can tell he knows the situation.
Oh, yeah, things have changed. Ezra. Oh, no, come on.
Wow.
Oh, that was going from bad to worse and just kicks back into the fairway. What a break.
He's going to love seeing that on here. Not going to love seeing that, though.
Yeah, that's the one that goes out of bounds. How did that come back in? That is wild. Needs to find earth.
Yeah.
And it finds it.
Has it if he wants it. Perfectly framed up.
Only 4 back of the leader right now. Gavin's still firmly in the mix. Calvin going DX AVRX3. I think that was a play for the pin. I think he just missed the height, just barely. Almost a little surprised he didn't go mid-range there.
I agree. Maybe he wants to play it short like these guys are doing, you know?
Yeah. Oh. Just a misrelease low for Ricky. That aggressive drive. He's playing for the birdie, but just a little low out of the hand. Doesn't have a chance climbing that hill. You know, Ezra's trying to make it, trying to save the par somehow. And that's going to bring him to 4 over on the front 9. Absolutely dreadful front 9 for Ezra. No birdies yet. That was looking good. From this perspective.
Pretty good. Depends on how much power he had. And surprised that Calvin doesn't even try. But with that out of bounds on the right-hand side, I guess, didn't think it was worth it. With how good he's putting, though, you know?
Yeah, sure. That would have been a full-on trick shot, but and with Ricky not having a birdie coming up, he doesn't necessarily need to press hard there.
But sometimes, usually the trick shots are like some of the safest plays. You know what I mean? Like the high stolly, try to get it up above. I felt like, well, maybe not.
If you're that kind of guy.
Oh, he's that kind of guy.
Calvin, the trick shot guy?
Have you ever seen him in the putting games?
Yeah.
Basketball putts.
I've hosted a few of them.
I'm pretty sure he makes all kinds of different putts.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is back in the day when the players would pick the stations, people would always go, oh, let's do the low ceiling because Calvin likes to putt high. And then he'd just zip them in. They're like, what? And then they were getting letters and he was one walking away with his hands up.
100%.
Well, the story has changed here. I mean, this was a Ricky runs away with this kind of thing, wire-to-wire lead, wire-to-wire win. It's going to take something really special from Ricky in this back nine to dig deep and just put together a solid back nine. Calvin has looked unflappable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't put it past these guys to get
100%.
go 9 for 9 or something crazy.
100%.
That's what they kind of do. And you have those 2-stroke swing holes like 17 and 16.
No lead is
And
safe
18
until
now.
you. Yeah, sure. 18 is playing well over par. No lead is safe coming down the stretch. That's for sure. It's going to be a race to the finish line, and we are going to be crowning the 2024 DDO MPO champion after just 9 more holes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Founders Club, and thank you, John Klein. Specifically you and Scott Smith. We appreciate you. See you on the other side of the break.